For example 2, we are going to use a graph to write an equation for a quadratic. And then we'll also look at the graph and find the domain and the range. The domain and the range can come off of the vertex for us because we know that that's either the lowest or the highest point on a parabola. So looking at this graph, I can see that the vertex is at 2, 3. -3. And what we're going to do next is pick any other point that's on the graph. So I see that there's a point right here, the y-intercept. So I have another point on the function, which is 0, 1. And we're going to call this x, y, and the vertex is h, k. So the general formula for a parabola in vertex form is y equals possibly some letter a that's stretching the parabola, x minus h, the quantity squared, plus k. So let's take these values that we found here and plug them into this formula. So for y, I'm going to put 1, and for x, I'm going to put 0. For h, I'll put 2, and for k, I'll put 3. So multiplying this out, I'm going to have 4 times a minus 3, adding 3 to both sides. I have that 4 is equal to 4 times a, so in this case a is equal to 1. So going back to our formula here, we'll write that our general formula is going to be y equals 1 for a, x minus 2 squared, and then minus k, which is a minus 3, or plus k, which is minus. So this, we think, is the formula of the graph that we see. Again, once we know the vertex, we can think about the domain and the range from that. The domain for parabolas is always all real numbers. So the domain, and we can see that by looking at the graph, is everything between negative infinity and positive infinity. But the range comes from that vertex. It comes from the y-coordinate of the vertex, or k. So it looks like -3 is the lowest value we reach on this particular graph. So our range is going to be going from -3 up to positive infinity, including that lower endpoint. Let's look at another example. In this example, we have a parabola that's facing down. We want to start by trying to find the equation of this graph. We'll look at the vertex here, which is at 2, 7. And then we'll find some other point that's on the graph. Looking at this, I can see that the y-intercept is at -1. So we have another point at 0, -1. So this first value is going to be our hk, and the second one will just be some xy on the graph. So parabolas have the general format of y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. Let's plug in all the values that we have above. We'll put -1 for y. We don't know what a is yet. X is going to be 0. H is going to be 2. And k is going to be 7. So let's simplify this. This is going to be 4 times a again, plus 7. Let's subtract 7 from both sides. So -8 is equal to 4 times a. So it looks like a is equal to -2. So going back here, we think that our formula is going to be y equals -2, x minus h is 2, and then plus 7. This is the equation of the parabola that we see over there. To figure out the domain and the range, we said before that the domain of any parabolas is all real numbers. And then the range is going to come from that k value. So in this case, because the parabola is facing upside down, we see that because a is negative. The highest value is going to be k, which is 7. So this function is going to be going from negative infinity up to 7, including the endpoint.